Hey everyone, this is the Innovator's Mindset with Dr. Rachel Edoho-Eket. There we go. I'm so excited. Listen, I am so excited. First of all, I was speaking in Charleston County, South Carolina. It's about an hour and a half flight. You were in Ghana. And
Yep.
I'm like, there's no way you're making this podcast. And not only you just like have so much energy, it's just the amount of energy that you have and the stuff that I see you're like creating all this great stuff. You're speaking at all these conferences, you're running the school. And then I feel like it's just me because there's no way you could be doing it for other people. You are like constantly cheering me on as well. Like how many people, how is this even possible? So I just so appreciate you. And I'm so glad to have you on the podcast. So can you just I've had you on the podcast before. Dr. Rachel Edoho-Eket has a new book out with Brad Johnson. It's called Relational Intelligence, the Key Factor to Exceptional School Leadership. And as you are listening to this podcast, it is available right now. Can you just kind of reintroduce yourself to my audience, even though I know a ton of people already know you?
Yes. And first of all, George, thank you again for having me. You know, I love connecting with you and all the work that you're doing. I'm very, very inspired by it. But my name is Rachel Edoho-Eket, and I have been serving as a school administrator now for 11 years, over half of my career, 7 years as a principal. Time flies when you're having fun.
Uh,
I also am the president of the Maryland Association of Elementary School Principals, which gives me an amazing opportunity to work with school leaders across our state, nationally and beyond, to really advocate and work on important issues
yeah.
for our student staff and our community. So I'm very, very thankful to be in a position to have now written another book that I'm really excited about with Dr. Johnson, to share with other school leaders and educators.
And I'm going to just share this aside. I actually just wrote a new book and it was not even came to fruition until like 3 weeks ago. And you sent me an email telling me how excited you were. I'm like, I would love for you to write the forward. And immediately you wrote the forward. And I was like, not only did you write it, it's awesome. I'm like, well, that sets the stage. So I just really appreciate that. The energy that you put into other people just shows how much you focus on servant leadership. And before we get into your book, and honestly, I'm going to tell you this, pick up this book. Your stuff is just so incredible. I just love learning from you. You were just in Ghana. Can you just tell a little bit about your trip, what you did there, some of the impact that it had? I know not only on the people that you worked with, but on yourself.
Yes, so I had the incredible opportunity to speak in Accra, Ghana for the ASCD Ghana Conference, International Educator Summit. And it was something I saw last year that I really was interested in. I wanted to get there. I had never been to the continent before. And just all the history and the legacy that is present was really important to me. So it was a 6 month process to really to get prepared to go overseas. You have to get a visa and get some other things in place. You have to take medicine. And when I got there, it was just an immediate sense of calm and welcome. And that was something that it's hard to put into words, but I know I experienced that. And just being in the school community with other leaders who were both from Ghana and the United States was incredible. I'm walking away with a lot of takeaways, but the main one is the fact that even though we are thousands of miles apart, separated by all these miles, the educators still have the same passion and goals that we have in America, which is to make sure that students have the best education possible and to do it in an environment that is joyful and where students want to be. So that's really what I had an opportunity to talk about during the conference in my session. And on top of the wonderful learning that happened there, I also had an opportunity to explore the city and just to see things I had never seen before. One of the things that I saw were people balancing large baskets of goods and things on their heads. And I remember asking someone from Ghana, how do you do that? And he said, well, it's just one piece of cloth in between, and then they balance this large basket. I saw baked goods, I saw shoes, I saw books, I saw anything that you could think of, laundry. So it was just incredible to be in a new environment, and I'm just so blessed for that opportunity.
Yeah, and I think that's something that I really appreciate about you, and something I've always tried to focus on is that anytime you go to a space that people are asking you to join, share your learning, is that you are also becoming better from the process as well, that you're open to this. You're not just there to like share information, but you become better because of it. And something I really appreciate in how you interact with people, how I see you connect, and obviously the speeches that you do kind of all over. Plus, running a school. Right, right. And I just think that's amazing. And so your new book, Relational Intelligence, the Key Factor to Exceptional School Leadership. Can you give us like the quick synopsis of what this book is and who is it written for?
Yes, our book is written for school leaders who want more strategies to ways to connect with other people that we serve. The fact of the matter is that this is such a tough time in education right now, and as school leaders, we have some control, but really a lot of what's happening is outside of our control. Budget constraints, less positions, those are all things outside of our control. So Dr. Johnson and I wanted to come up with a way to help leaders figure out how can we retain the teachers that we have. We have great people inside of our buildings, and we do have some level of control over how we make people feel. So, or how we interact with people, or how do we support our teachers and staff so that when given the choice, they want to stay in our schools. They want to serve the students in the community and the families. So our book really is I would say a blueprint for how we can support our teachers and staff and our students in a very positive way. We talk about the three pillars of relational intelligence: trust, communication, and connections. Without those three things, we have nothing. And so we really take a strategic look at each of those. How do we gain trust? How do we build trust? And how do we rebuild it when we've lost it? Then communicate. How do we do it in a way that's not only transactional, kind of like what you said, George? It's not just sharing of information.
Right.
Communication is a listening and a learning process. So making sure that school leaders understand that, because when we listen to people, people feel valued. And then finally, having that connection with people. So it's not just that closeness of that surface level. How are you? How are you doing? It's what's our purpose together? And who are you outside of your role as a teacher? Because you're a teacher, you're a staff member, but you're also much more than that. You have family, you have friends, you
Right.
have other interests. So that's really what we want to accomplish in this book and help fill that gap for school leaders. When you want to increase morale, you may not have a lot of money. There's not a lot of budgets to do it. We're going to come with some practical ways to help you do that.
That focus that you have in the book, it makes me think of, I know it sounds weird, like an AT&T commercial, right? It's
Mhm.
like, hey, for new customers, you get all
Right.
this good stuff. Old ones, too bad. You're stuck with what you had. And that's kind of been the approach a lot in education. It's like, hey, let's really focus on getting new teachers. And it's like,
Right.
why are so many people leaving? Maybe that's what you need to focus on in the first place. Because if you take care of the people that are there currently and you do everything you can, then you're not going to have the same, and I know there's factors, as you said, that are outside of your control, but there's always things that you can do to really sure the people that you have are valued. They know that they're better because of the work that they're doing and that you're doing. So it always bothers me when I'm hearing about, hey, let's do something for the new. I'm like, what about the people that have like spent years and years
Yes.
there? So I love that you have that focus. The thing that really sticks out to me is the work that you're talking about is really foundational.
Mhm.
So you do this. How do you see this actually really benefiting, learning, whether it's for students, whether it's for adults? Because, if you talk about relationships at the end point, that's not the point of schools, but it is foundational, right? It
Yes.
is what you need, because if you don't have trust, if you're pushing me, I need to know you got my back. That's really crucial. So
Mhm.
how does this ultimately improve learning in
Yeah.
schools?
I've seen this myself. The connection is very clear. When you have a staff who remains in the building, that provides stability, not only for your school, but for the entire school community. And so one of the ways that we have to keep people happy and engaged is through our relationships. And so we do know that when there are moves within communities or there's a lot of turnover in buildings, it's hard for students to really reach that success because they don't have that consistent instruction year to year. If you're doing a start and stop all the time, then the students will suffer as a result of that. So we are really looking at this in a proactive way to say when our teachers and staff are stable and in a good place, then that opens up space for our students to learn because our teachers are functional, right? Our teachers are working together collaboratively. They figured out ways to plan together, to have that sense of community and trust within their team so that the student outcomes are result and improved. So I think that this is not only definitely foundational, but also a proactive approach to this work. Because even if you're in a new school building, and as I was this year, you want to build that trust and rapport with everyone so people do not have a mass exodus out of the building, right? So you're not starting over. That's really important.
Yeah, and I think that, as I've gotten older, and I'm pretty old now, but we talk about innovation, we talk about, all these aspirational things that we have, but it's routine. There's structure that is really important to that. And I appreciate that you're really focusing on this. So I just want to say all the people that connect with you are so blessed. And I feel that every time I interact with you, I'm just like floating on air after. You just absolutely, I don't know what you're doing. Like, I don't know where you're getting this energy from, but it's absolutely amazing. Every time I'm like, how is she like seeing everything? So I really appreciate you. So I highly encourage you, check out the book, Relational Intelligence, The Key Factor, Exceptional School Leadership. Can I ask you this? It says a series. Is there more coming out? Is that?
There may be.
Okay. All right. So check it out. It is available. You can check it out in the link down below. Congratulations on the book. I know the impact that you have on so many. So I hope many people pick this up, listen to the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you all have a wonderful day.
Thank you.